And I don't have emotional eating or cravings anymore.
I'm not watching life anymore.
Thank you so much for changing my life.
Hey, this is Brittany Watkins here, and I am so excited to be here talking to you about the topic of this video today. I think it's going to be something that's really going to help you if you feel stressed out, overwhelmed, and like you're not taking care of yourself well enough. So the big topic that I feel like all the personal development gurus are talking about these days, especially the women ones, are self-care. And you know how taking better care of yourself is going to get you more of what you want. It's going to help you lose weight. It's going to help you make more money. It's going to help you have a better relationship. And while I do agree that it is absolutely essential that self-care be a part of your regimen, what is stopping us from actually doing that and implementing it? So, you know, I'm very close to this topic because this is something that I've struggled with a lot in the work that I've done, and actually recently it's been coming up a lot in my Think and Advance program. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit today and just shed some light on why we have such a problem taking care of ourselves. I mean, it seems like the simplest thing, right? Like, take care of yourself, you know, buy yourself flowers, put your makeup on, dress nice, you know, rest when you're tired. Don't say yes to every project. Take a few things off of your plate. Those seem like logical things to do, but how come we always find ourselves frustrated and overwhelmed and saying yes to things when, you know, we really don't have the energy or the time to do it? And what I discovered in the years that I've been studying this and, you know, researching my own psychology and then talking with other people is that it actually comes down to an experience that we have in childhood. Of course, you know, with my work, I always relate everything back to the subconscious and how we develop these things in the first place. So what I found was that when you take care of yourself, and you have a really good practice of self-care, you're honoring your needs, right? You're noticing, oh, I really need to sleep. I really need to not say yes to that. I really need to, you know, take an extra hour for myself each day. I really need to hire somebody to help me clean my house. All of these things, right? And so when we don't realize that we need to do those things for ourselves, it's usually because we can't even feel our needs to begin with. We don't even realize that we have those needs. We do need help until it's way too late. So how many times have you found yourself frustrated, screaming at everybody, or ending up in tears? You know I certainly have, because you're just so frustrated and you're so overwhelmed. Well, it comes back to not being in touch with our needs. And the reason that we're not in touch with our needs is usually because at a very early age, our needs were not honored, or we were made to feel ashamed for having needs. So let me just give you an example here. Say you are 8-year-old and you walk by a bicycle shop and you look to your mom and you go, oh my gosh, Mom, I totally want a bike. Can we please get a bike? Please. Look at the bike. I love a bike. I want a bike so bad. And your mom looks at you and goes, absolutely not. We cannot afford that. How dare you? You know that we're having money problems right now. Right? Because she's in her own stuff. She's stressed. She's trying to meet the bills. She's got other stuff going on in her life. You know, obviously our parents can't be perfect. Nobody's perfect. But usually what happens is the child expresses their need or a desire that they have, and it's met with criticism and shame. So instead of that, you know, people that are in touch with their needs or they are in touch with their desires, they don't have any of this childhood programming. Maybe they were met with a response more like, oh gosh, honey, you know, I so would love for you to have a bike too, and I know how much that means to you. You know, let's go home and figure out some way that you can make some extra money so you can save your money and get it. Right? So it doesn't mean that you need to get your way right there in that moment. It's just about the way that your authority figure or whoever was in your life mirroring this situation for you, however they dealt with it. So if they really honored your desire for it, that helps you continue to be in touch with your needs and your desires and not feel ashamed about them in the future. So I really want to help you change this. And I can tell you that this tapping script, I've been working really hard on it. And you might need to change some words that are particular for you, but I think it's pretty general in just not being able to feel needs and all the yucky stuff that comes up when we start to feel it. And so definitely do, rewatch this video and rethink about different situations where you can ask somebody to meet your needs. And probably what's going to happen is you're going to notice some uncomfortable feelings. You might notice embarrassment. You might actually notice the shame that's there now that I've put an emotion to the experience. So let's tune into that right now. So I want you to think about a situation in your life where you really could use some more help. So maybe some more help at home, your partner, maybe it's asking your boss for something that would be really helpful for you. Maybe it's just setting a better boundary, like, hey, I need more alone time, or I don't know, whatever it is. Just think about something in your life that you could do for you, but when you think about doing it, it makes you feel really uncomfortable. Okay. And then I want you to think about asking for that need to be met, and just kind of notice on a scale from 0 to 10 how much anxiety you have right now. Okay, because this is going to kind of bring that up to the surface. All right, so let's start tapping through the points. Needs? I don't even know what my needs are. I can't even feel my needs. I can't feel my needs until it's way too late. I just push through. I can get through one more day. I can do one more thing. I can add one more thing to my plate. I'm doing it anyway, just let me do that too. It'll just be faster if I do it, so let me just do it. Me ask for help? What is that? I never ask for help. There's nobody to help me. It'll just be easier if I do it. I'll just take that on too. It'll be faster if I do it. Because deep down inside, I'm worried that if I relax, I'll collapse. If I relax, I'll turn into a little puddle and I'll never get anything done. So I've got to force myself to do it. I've got to will myself to do it. I've got to do it, do it, do it. All right, so I don't know about you, but for me, this is bringing up a lot of feelings of frustration. So if you're there right now, just kind of feel the frustration. And this is a technique that I teach in some of my more advanced courses. But whenever you feel frustration, that's the emotion on top of anger. And the frustration is anger wanting to come out. And one of the most toxic things you can ever do for your body is to suppress anger. So I want you to feel whatever's bubbling up to the surface and keep tapping through the points and make a big sound like, ah, this is so frustrating, but really do it like, ah, right? So like you can hear your sound echoing off the walls, or if you do it in a car or something like that, just really get that frustration out of your body. I hate being like this. I feel so overwhelmed. I hate this feeling. I'm mad all the time, and I do this to myself. I don't like having so much on my plate. I'm not happy. This just doesn't feel good. All right, so take a nice deep breath here and just kind of breathe in and notice where you're at right now. Okay, so again, go back to the original feeling or the original visualization of asking somebody to help you out, or asking for a need to get met, okay, and all the uncomfortable feelings that come up with that. All right, so tune back into that. All right, so keep tapping through the points. The truth is, I'm actually afraid to speak up for my needs. I'm afraid that I don't even know what my needs are. Because way back then, it wasn't okay for me to have needs. It wasn't okay for me to have desires. It wasn't okay for me to have boundaries or be separate. I had to do what they wanted me to do all of the time. It wasn't okay for me to ask for what I want. They called me selfish. Selfish for having needs, for having boundaries. And so every time I even think about asking for what I want, I feel scared or shut down, or I just smoke screen it. Feels like I'm doing something wrong. All this fear for speaking up for my needs. Fear that they're going to shame me. Fear that I'm doing something wrong. Fear that I can't have what I want. Ugh, it makes me so angry, so frustrated. All right, so take a nice big breath here again. And tune into it. So if you're feeling like you've got a lot of anger come up, so everybody will have kind of different emotions that will bubble up to the surface here, but usually when you start to tap through this, some of the anger and the suppressed frustration will start to come up to the surface. So if that's happening for you right now, just keep tapping through it and just let out a big like, I'm so frustrated, I'm so angry, I hate dealing with this. Or whatever's coming up for you, okay? Whatever feels natural. These are my needs. These are my desires. I want this, and you have to be okay with it. And then it really comes down to getting angry at myself for not meeting my own needs for so long. So just kind of tune into that. Feel if that's up for you. So angry for not getting my needs met for so long. Oh, I feel like they've been bottled up inside of me for a lifetime. And there's a million of them. As soon as I get in touch with them, I feel like I'm going to explode like a volcano. I'm going to blow, and then I won't know what to do with myself. I'll be a big fat mess. And then I won't be able to get anything done because I have all these needs, and it's so messy. I don't know where to start. I don't know what I feel like. Ah! Okay, good. So just let a big out here. So take a nice deep breath. And a big part of having needs too is like the whole idea of being needy or feeling needy. You know, there's a lot of anxiety, especially as women, that we have around this. Like, oh, this is going to be so messy, and you know, we weren't brought up with a really safe container to just be messy and have emotions and have feelings. So if any of that stuff is starting to come up, just tap and say out loud all the words that you hear your mind saying inside. So it could be something like, it's not safe, it's not okay, whatever it is, just keep tapping through the points. All right, so again, think about sharing your need with somebody. Think about asking for something that you need or that you want, and tune back into it and give it a number on a scale from 0 to 10, and we're going to do one last round of tapping. All right, so tapping through the points. When I think about sharing my need for fill in the blank, I still feel shame. So I release the shame and judgment for having needs, for wanting this. I release and let go of the judgment. I've carried this for way too long. It's okay for me to have my needs met. It's okay that I want this. There's nothing wrong with it. I've judged myself for so long. I need this, and I want this, and I am totally okay with it. And so are the people around me. Because when my needs are met, I'm at my best. And the truth is, the people around me are supportive of me. They want me to be happy. They want me to be my best. So maybe it's okay if I have needs. Maybe it's okay to actually feel what I want and need. Because when I'm in alignment with my needs and I communicate them appropriately, they get met. And that makes me relax. Because the truth is, I'm in charge of my life. I'm in charge of my destiny. I'm in charge of the way I feel day to day and moment to moment. I'm in complete control of my happiness. I get to decide how I show up in my life. I get to decide how I want my life to look. I can create whatever life I want to create. I have the ability to do anything in the world. I am a powerful, resourceful creator, and I can create absolutely any life I want. So I'm accepting myself completely for having needs and for wanting my needs to be met. It's safe for me to have what I desire. I'm loving myself through this process. I love being in touch with myself. I love feeling my best. I love feeling free and filled up with love. I love being the person I was born to be. All right, now take a nice deep breath and just kind of tune in again to the way that you feel. Think about asking for this need to get met. And just notice how much calmer you are about it. Notice how much more in alignment you are. I notice for me and then for some of my students, before you do the tapping on it, when you ask for your needs to be met, you come at it from like kind of a triggered way where you're like really defensive and you're kind of angry because you're expecting to get attacked. You're expecting to get to be shamed. And when you do this tapping, when you release these feelings, you can come at it from a much more centered place, already knowing that you deserve to have what you ask for. And that's going to get you a much, much, much better response from the person that you're asking to meet your needs. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you tap through it and that you learned something amazing today. Share this with any other tappers that you know that you think this could be helpful for. And can't wait to see you in the next video.
To watch this video again, just click the share button. That saves it to your wall, and then you'll always know where to find it.